Good morning. Hope everyone's having a lovely day. I'm doing okay. I just had a constant frog in my throat. Allergies, I tell you what, there's something else. That's for sure. Oh, excuse me. Alright. So guys, it is Monday. I've got a day off, thank goodness. Like last week, this week is not going to be crazy busy. Well, maybe it is to a certain degree. But not as bad as it was last week, oh my gosh. At least I get more rest this week versus last week. Trying to be a little bit careful because I've already gotten 2 of these little prongs taken out so far. No, 3. It's like I could have kept my last one then if that were the case. The last one lasted way longer before they started falling out. Anyway. The weather is so kooky. Today it feels really warm in here. I'm gonna have to probably turn the air on. My gosh, it's either really cold or it gets really, and then it's like all different types of weather. It's really cold like in the mornings, and then it gets warm by the afternoon, and then it kind of gets, by the evening it's kind of warm and then dims down as the sun goes down. It just kind of gets cooler, but I'm like, what is going on? It's not fall. It should be going into summer here pretty soon, actually. It's probably in like, well, how many weeks is it? Not until the 21st of next month, but nonetheless, it's like 3 weeks away. Also, happy birthday to my aunt. Her birthday was yesterday, so happy birthday. Hope you had a great day or a great week. Hope you got everything that you want and are blessed. So sorry, my battery's flashing. Be right back. Okay, fresh battery. Amen to that. Oof. Don't like it when it's getting, I know as soon as it gets close to that halfway point, it's not going to be too much longer that it's going to start blinking. Sometimes I try to let it go a little bit longer into the red zone, but it drives me crazy, and I know it's just going to completely go kaput, so that's why I always make sure I have a charged battery. And so yeah, thank goodness for charged batteries. Otherwise, if I only had the one battery that it came with, oi, it would make my vlogging so much harder, and my photography as well. What am I getting into today? Chores. What a surprise. Pretty typical. I mean, if I'm at home, there's not really much going on than the typical thing, really. Sorry, but there's just nothing exciting happening, really. Oh, almost forgot. So sorry about this. Happy Memorial Day as well. Thank you for all the troops that have served our country, whether you're in the Navy, I guess you could say the armed forces, any type of service, the Marines, I am drawing a blank, the Navy, Marines, Army. I know there's so much more out there. I cannot think for the life of me whatever type of branch you are. Thank you for whether you served in the past, you're retired, you're a veteran, or presently working in there. Thank you for all the men and women that have served our country. I I will say I would not able to survive. I wouldn't have joined because I wouldn't have survived. But thank you for all those who have served. I know a lot that have served, whether your family or friends, you know, have given your lives for everything. So thank you, thank you, thank you from the bottom of my heart. So yeah, happy Memorial Day. I know a lot of people take this time to have, well, any type of holiday, they take the time to all have these get-togethers and parties and everything, and I'm just like, it's just kind of another day for me. I'm not much into, yes, I take holidays more seriously when it comes to remembering them and stuff like that, but I don't take it so far as to constantly feel like I have to celebrate every holiday. Certain holidays, yes. Some I'm just like, okay, it is what it is. I wonder, excuse me, since it's I'm guessing it's a federal holiday, did kids not have school today? I don't know. I really don't know. Maybe they did. I guess they did. Or didn't have school today. I'm not sure. Speaking of which, Memorial Day, that reminds me of 4th of July, which I've been also talking about summer. I'm gonna have to make a summer intro. Change it up, because summer's approaching and I need to figure that out, but I haven't really figured out what I kind of have an idea what I want to do for this next intro. I'm gonna involve patriotic stuff, but I don't have our patriotic stuff out yet. I don't know, maybe Mom will let me put stuff out, because I usually like decorating for the patriotic stuff or fall stuff, so maybe Mom will let me, I don't know, or she'll want to do it herself. Maybe I'll just bring it up, say, hey Ma, think of this. I mean, I would say majority of our stuff out of our dining room is gone, because we've been using that as obviously in an spare room to place stuff until we take it to wherever it needs to go. That's kind of our storage room until we need to have it out, but we are definitely be using our dining room as a dining room when family is here. So, because we can't all fit at our kitchen table, it only fits 6. We'll definitely need our 10-foot table, so it's gonna actually be useful. Now, obviously, breakfast and lunch will be different because everyone's going to be eating at different times, because my family, they're on a different time zone, but dinners will definitely be at our dining room table, unless we're eating out for some odd reason. But most likely we'll have dinners at their dining room tables, so. Definitely going to be interesting. Yeah, I gotta see if Mom's willing to put our 4th of July stuff out, so then I can possibly do an intro here pretty soon. Don't know if I'll do it right away. I gotta do it soon though, because I need to be prepared for myself instead of constantly doing it at the last minute and it's already summer and or whatever season and it's like, oh, it's already passed, you know, that type of thing. I really need to prepare myself better. Sometimes I have the gumption to do things, and other times I'm like, no idea. I have no gumption whatsoever. I get lazy. Anyway. I've most likely have to get my butt going, so. You'll see me later. Okay guys, I am back. It is evening. Got a lot done today, for the most part, I would say. Got vacuuming done. What else did I do? I've been doing Zachary's laundry. I'm still in the process of doing a lot of his laundry near the end. Went briefly uptown to church to clear out stuff that we needs to be done. We're still really in the process of eliminating things, donating things, where to put things, get things ready for VBS, and then, you know, after VBS, then we can kind of just like evaluate what exactly needs to come home and what needs to be just donated. So we're in a huge process of that, and I'm so glad it's getting more and more easier as time goes by, and the fact that it's almost over. Almost over. Ah. I'm so happy about that. And I'm also happy that we don't have to work tomorrow. Oh my gosh, we don't have to work tomorrow? I'm not filming tomorrow because technically it would be a work day. I might make another video. I don't know. I don't really have anything to film other than vlogging, but yeah, I don't have to work tomorrow, which is exciting. I get another day off. I only have to work two times this week, and then Wednesday it'll actually just be 2 houses and a few errands. Also, Dr. P, my chiropractor, I look forward to going to the chiropractor. I really do. I didn't used to think I would, because it's like, oh, he's cracking your back and neck. When you're in pain and you really want relief from it. So yeah. Yeah, and I also finally figured out, like, I really like having I can actually use my desk now that I put the puzzle away. That's all put away. I'm not putting a puzzle together anytime soon. So I actually have my setup here now on my desk, and I actually really like using my desk now. Also, the fact that I've got a comfortable chair. Before, it was the other chair, and it's not comfortable. So yeah, I'm just glad to have a comfortable chair. I was planning on getting another one. We were planning on to go to Labor's and buy one specifically for me, but Mom had this one. She already had gotten a new one, and this was her old one. Instead of donating this one and going to get another one, just, you know, it's comfortable enough for me, so I was like, you know what, I'll take it. So that's that, and I'm so happy about that. Anyway, so I'm just glad to have this set up. Also, I was thinking, like, I need stuff out of the way so the kids, when the kids do get here, I'm not gonna have so much issue of them touching things or wanting to get into things. So I had to put things up. Obviously, they could still reach up here, but hopefully they are not going to want to touch my stuff. I don't know. Hopefully we'll have plenty of toys, which we will have plenty of stuff. Bringing the tent home and the tunnels and the kitchen and all this other stuff. So the play kitchen, that is. And so they'll have so much to do that they won't. And they'll have the little pool outside and a sandbox, and they'll have so much stuff. They'll not want to touch my stuff, hopefully, or Zachary's. So, but nonetheless, I still have to put kid-proof my room. And I kind of like having my chair over there in front of my dollhouse. I didn't think I would, but I kind of do. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep it there. I don't know yet. I haven't figured out everything yet, if I want to keep that there. I do want to keep my setup here, but I don't think I want to leave my chair there. I'm not quite sure what I want to do with that just yet. But it is everybody's favorite time of the vlog, guys, and that is Bible time. And so I need to go get my Bible and our devotional book. So BRB. It's Bible time. Guys, also, I've been editing almost all day today. Also, I've been catching up on the vlogs, so you guys will be getting these vlogs out soon. Soon, guys. I'm catching up, finally. It pays to have storage space on your laptop. Since I have space, now I can actually get the videos to come. What is it called? Import? No, export. So I can export. I already inputted off onto my laptop. Now I'm exporting, which means putting the video together and then be able to upload it for you guys as well on my channel. So anyway, we're in chapter 4 of Leviticus, and this is procedures for the sin offering. Put those up. It's kind of hard sometimes to read with these glasses. Sometimes it's fine in front of a screen, but not in front of a book. I can perfectly read without them. They're not reading glasses. And then the Lord said to Moses, "Give the following instructions to the people of Israel. This is how you are to deal with those who sin unintentionally by doing anything that violates one of the Lord's commands. If the high priest sins, bring guilt upon the entire community. He must give a sin offering for the sin he has committed. He must present to the Lord a young bull with no defects. He must bring the bull to the Lord at the entrance of the tabernacle, lay his hand on the bull's head, and slaughter it before the Lord." Isn't that a lovely picture to picture in your head for everyone to see? Just like cut off a bull's head and put it in front of the altar and say, "Here, Lord, this is for my guilt of sin." Pleasant, isn't it? Okay, where was I? That's what I get for sidetracking. There we go. The high priest will then take some of the bull's blood into the tabernacle, dip his finger in the blood, and sprinkle it 7 times before the Lord in front of the inner curtain of the sanctuary. The priest will then put some of the blood on the horns of the altar for fragrant incense that stands in the Lord's presence inside the tabernacle. He will pour out the rest of the bull's blood at the base of the altar for burnt offerings at the entrance of the tabernacle. Then the priest must remove all the fat of the bull to be offered as a sin offering. That's a lovely, lovely scene, and it must have really smelled so delightful. This includes all the fat around the internal organs, the 2 kidneys, and the fat around them, near the loins and the long lobe of the liver. He must remove these along with the kidneys, just as he does with the cattle offered as a peace offering. Just as he does with cattle offered as... Okay, I just read that. You know how my mind is working here? I sometimes just noticed I skipped over a sentence and went back over to the sentence I just read. My dyslexic, I tell you what. And burn them on the altar of burnt offerings. But he must take whatever is left of the bull, its hide, meat, head, legs, internal organs, and dung, and carry it away to a place outside the camp that is ceremonially clean, the place where the ashes are dumped. Yeah, let's get rid of that stuff. There on the ash heap, he will burn it on a wood fire. Sidebar called I Didn't Mean It. Have you ever done something wrong without realizing it until later? All the time. Although your sin was unintentional, it was still a sin. One of the purposes of God's law was to make the Israelites aware of their unintentional sins so they would not repeat them. Leviticus chapters 4 and 5 mention some of these unintentional sins and God's remedies for them. The Holy Spirit reminds us of our intentional and unintentional sins. Are you listening? If the entire Israelite community sins by violating one of the Lord's commands, but the people don't realize it, they are still guilty. When they become aware of their sin, the people must bring a young bull as offering for their sin and present it before the tabernacle. The elders of the community must then lay their hands on the bull's head and slaughter it before the Lord. The high priest will then take some of the bull's blood into the tabernacle, dip his finger in the blood, and sprinkle it 7 times before the Lord in front of the inner curtain. Notice how they said 7 times. That's one of God's favorite numbers, is 7. It'll be repeated a lot in the Bible. You'll notice. Oops. Get that later. Then the priest must remove all the animal's fat and burn it on the altar, just as he does with the bull offered as a sin offering for the high priest. Through this process, the priest will purify the people, making them right with the Lord, and they will be forgiven. Then the priest must take what is left of the bull and carry it outside the camp and burn it there, just as is done with the sin offering for the high priest. This offering is for the sin of the entire congregation of Israel. If one of the Israel's leaders sins by violating one of the commands of the Lord his God, but doesn't realize it, he is still guilty. Then he becomes aware of it. When he becomes aware of his sin, he must bring it as his offering a male goat with no defects. He must lay his hand on the goat's head and slaughter it at the place where burnt offerings are slaughtered before the Lord. Shocker. This is an offering for his sin. Then the priest will dip his finger in the blood of the sin offering and put it on the horns of the altar for burnt offerings. He'll pour out the rest of the blood at the base of the altar. Then he must burn all the goat's fat on the altar, just as he does with the peace offering. Through this process, the priest will purify the leader from his sin, making him right with the Lord, and he will be forgiven. If any of the common people sin by violating one of the Lord's commands, but they don't realize it, they are still guilty. When they become aware of their sin, they must bring an offering for their sin, a female goat with no defects. They must lay a hand on the head. Some of this stuff is so redundant. Could have said this in like one paragraph, but no, it's a bunch of paragraphs. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. They must lay a hand on the head of the sin offering and slaughter it at the place where burnt offerings are slaughtered. Then the priest will dip his finger into the blood again and put it on the horns of the altar for burnt offerings again. He will pour out the rest of the blood at the base of the altar. Then he must remove all the goat's fat, just as he does with the fat of the peace offering. He will burn the fat on the altar, and it will be a pleasing aroma to the Lord. Glad I'm not there to share in that present moment of aromas. I'm glad you are okay with it, Lord. At the time, I definitely couldn't handle it. Be like, I think I need a clothespin, stuffed tissue or something, cloth or whatever they had back then, and just stuff it up my nose so I don't smell all that. Or I'm just glad I'm a female and I don't have to be the high priest and burn all that. Then the priest will dip his finger in the blood of the sin offering and put it on the horns of the altar for burnt offerings. He'll pour it out the rest of the blood at the base of the altar. Then he must remove all... Oh, wait. Was I talking... I was talking about the goat. Now we're on the sheep. Okay, let's go back, trace our steps. Okay. Then he must remove all the goat's fat, just as he does with the fat of the peace offering. He will burn the fat on the altar. It'll be a pleasing aroma to the Lord. Through this process, the priest will purify the people, making them right with the Lord, and they will be forgiven. If the people bring a sheep, now we're on the sheep, not, okay, as their sin offering, it must be female with no defects. They must lay a hand on the head of the sin offering and slaughter it at the place where burnt offerings are slaughtered. Then the priest will dip his finger in the blood of the sin offering and put it on the horns of the altar for burnt offerings. He will pour out the rest of the blood at the base of the altar. Then he must remove all the sheep's fat, just as he does with the fat of the sheep presented as a peace offering. He will burn fat on the altar on top of the special gifts presented to the Lord. Through this process, the priest will purify the people from their sin, making them right with the Lord, and they will be forgiven. Okay, that is chapter 4 of talking about the sin offerings. Thank goodness. Thank you, Jesus, for coming down to forgive all of our sins, because honestly, I couldn't deal with all that disgustingness. And honestly, I can't kill animals. I just feel so terrible. Even though I do eat chicken, I eat cow, and eat a little bit of pig. Nonetheless, I don't particularly want to kill them, cut off their heads, and deal with skin them and I'll do all that stuff, because that's just disgusting. Disgusting. Anyway, it's devotional time. Okay, this is titled Sandpaper People, and we're still in Job. Job chapter 36. Alright. Thank goodness for air conditioning, because it is hot outside. Chapter 36, verses 1 through 12. Right? Right. Okay. Let me go on, and I'll show you the truth, for I have not finished defending God. I will present profound arguments for the righteousness of my Creator. I am telling you nothing but the truth, for I am a man of great knowledge. God is mighty, but he does not despise anyone. He is mighty in both power and understanding. He does not let the wicked live, but gives justice to the afflicted. He never takes his eye off the innocent, but he sets them on thrones with kings and exalts them forever. They are bound in chains and caught up in a web of trouble. He shows them the reason. He shows them their sins of pride. He gets their attention and commands that they turn from evil. If they listen and obey God, they will be blessed with prosperity throughout their lives. All their years will be pleasant. But if they refuse to listen to him, they will be killed by the sword and die from lack of understanding. For the godless are full of resentment. Even when he punishes them, they refuse to cry out to him for help. They die when they are young after wasting their lives in immoral living. I want a little head, so I think I want a little bit of head. That's okay. It's alright. Be assured that my words are not false. One perfect in knowledge is with you. Do you know people who are cocky that you have a hard time being around them? Yeah. Their arrogance is eclipsed only by their ignorance, but they simply have no clue. Sandpaper people, that's what they are. Their very texture irritates you like crazy, but chances are that God is using them to make you more beautiful, just like sandpaper scrapes away the rough, splintered part of the wood to reveal its beautiful grain. Sandpaper people can have the same effect in your life. The expression, the patience of Job, didn't come about because God gifted Job with patience. Job's patience was cultivated and grew. Young Mr. Elihu, I don't think I'm saying that right, but that's okay. One of Job's sandpaper people was convinced that he had the complete answer. Yeah, okay. He had reduced Job's situation to simple if-then statement. If people obey and serve God, then they will always live their lives in prosperity. But that's not what the Bible teaches. In fact, the life of Jesus illustrates the opposite, as does Paul's. How are you handling the sandpaper people in your life? Very patiently, working alongside with people that are like that. That's very hard. Try to be uplifting and positive around them. Maybe it'll rub off on them. You know, try to do my best with those type of people, but it's not always easy. Pray about the situation, pray for them, because honestly they could use it. In what area of your life are you growing or need to grow in patience? Right now, honestly, patient with knowing what God has for me and be able to get onto the other side, but also wait because it's on his timetable, not ours. So yeah, it's hard. I get it. It's not easy, but I am learning to be patient through the process and learning and growing and grasping and understanding through all this. So that is that. I've got 20 more minutes on my editing my thing to export. So yeah, that is my day. I hope you guys enjoyed my explaining, basically, because I have nothing else to really show for it. It's, you know, typical day. So again, happy Memorial Day. Thanks for all you guys do, all the troops, everyone has participated in whatever branch you have. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the vlog. As always, keep on smiling, stay positive. I love you guys, Jesus loves you, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.